Welcome to Lesson 1 of Violin Tutor Pro. The first thing I want to talk about is the pace of the lessons. So if you have a music background, you're probably not going to need to go through Lesson 1. So you might want to start maybe more on Lesson 2 or 3. But those that don't have any music background and really want to get some technique reminders, this is actually a really good lesson to start with. The next thing I want to talk a little bit about is the fundamentals. So in each lesson, I'm going to really talk about some fundamental reminders that are really important to apply to your practice. Because I tell you, if you really get those fundamentals down, you're going to be able to go through my lessons a lot easier and sound your best. Today we're going to be working out of this book, Violin Tutor Pro Series 1 sheet music, and working through songs 1, 2, and 3. In this lesson we're going to be talking about pizzicato, which is a very simple way to play the violin, to have us just focus on the left hand instead of having to do both the left hand and the right hand with the bow. So with pizzicato, what we're going to do is actually take our thumb and put it on the corner of the fingerboard, and then we're going to pluck down in this area right here. Plucking up here is a little bit harder to do, so right here makes it sound a little bit better. Now as far as our thumb position, this is where we're really focusing on fundamentals with the left hand. We want to make sure that our thumb is right around here, about 1 inch away from the nut here. We don't want the thumb to be too high like this or too low, just right in this position. Always stays here actually. And then our hand, our fingers, we want to get in the habit of keeping them up like this. Now for this particular lesson, we're not going to have anything but open strings, but still get in the habit of keeping them up like this even with open strings. Then notice my wrist is straight. We don't want our wrist to get in the habit of being like this. This is actually a pretty bad habit, especially later on. So keep your wrists like this. And then when we put our violin on our shoulder, you want to make sure you can hold it with no hands. And notice that the violin's a little bit at an angle. We don't want it too much off to the side like this. This is hard to see the music and also do the pizzicato. So you want it just like this. Make sure that you have your shoulder rest on to be able to hold it correctly. So I'm going to put my thumb on the corner of the fingerboard, and then I'm ready to pluck the strings. The best spot to pluck would actually be right in this area, right kind of below where the instrument ends here. Don't want to be too high here. It's actually harder to get a good sound too close to the bridge. So this is actually a good spot. Now as far as the strings go, this string, the thinnest string, is actually the E string. So we're going to be plucking that a little bit in this particular lesson. The next string over is the A string. The third string over is the D. And the very last string, the thickest string, is the G. If you notice our song number 1, Pizzicato Fun, we're going to be plucking just on the D and the A strings. So the first 2 notes, we see 2 D zeros. And then the R's signify a rest. So there's 2 of those. So we rest the same length as we play the 2 quarter notes. So rest, rest. And then 2 A's. Rest, rest. 2 A's. And then 3 D zeros. So that was Pizzicato Fun, number 1. Low pizzicato song is the next one. Make sure your thumb's on the corner of the fingerboard. We're plucking in this area right here. In the first note we have A0, rest, and then D0, rest, and then D0, A0, D0. And 0 basically is just meaning open strings, not putting any fingers down. And then we have 2 G zeros, rest, rest, and then D0, and then A0, and then D0. Low pizzicato song. So that was low pizzicato song. The next one we're going to do is rainbow pizzicato, which combines in a little bit of the E string. So the first note, G0, rest, and then D, rest, A, rest, and then E, rest, and then 2 E's, D, A, G. And very important, I'm keeping my wrist straight. I have my thumb in the right position. and I'm getting the habit of keeping my knuckles up, which is going to apply really to the next couple lessons when we have to put our fingers down. Number 3, rainbow pizzicato.